After age 70, even the smallest habits can shape the way your body feels throughout the day, especially the ones you do right after waking. If you've ever stood up too quickly and felt lightheaded, or skipped breakfast and ended up jittery and tired by mid-morning, you're not alone. These aren't just minor slips, they're morning mistakes that quietly affect your heart, your balance, your digestion, and your mood, often without you realizing it. Many older adults repeat them daily, simply because no one ever pointed out the risks or offered a gentler, safer way to start the day. In this video, we'll walk through 6 common mistakes many people over 70 unknowingly make each morning and, more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them with small, simple adjustments. These aren't drastic changes, they're thoughtful shifts that can help you feel clearer, more stable, and more in control of your health. Whether it's how you move when you drink water or what you eat before coffee, each step makes a difference. So if you're someone who believes in aging gracefully, protecting your energy, and honoring your body's wisdom, this video is for you. Feel free to type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and share your morning experience, what works, what doesn't, and what you're curious to improve. Let's begin. This could change the way you feel, starting tomorrow. Sometimes, we wake up and try to carry on as if our bodies haven't changed, but they have gently over time. That first step out of bed used to be something we did without a second thought. Now it needs a little more care, not because we're fragile, but because we're wiser, and wisdom invites us to slow down and listen. One of the most overlooked causes of morning falls, joint pain, and long-term mobility issues in older adults is rushing into movement while the body is still stiff and unprepared. After hours of stillness during sleep, our joints aren't as fluid, our muscles haven't fully warmed up, and our sense of balance can be slightly off. It's easy to dismiss stiffness as something that will wear off, but pushing through it without pause can lead to unnecessary strain, or worse, a fall that could have been avoided with just a few moments of gentle movement. Think of your body like a garden hose on a cool morning. When it's been still for too long, pressure builds and movement becomes jerky unless it's first loosened with care. I've seen this happen with many older adults, strong, capable people who moved just a bit too fast and paid the price with weeks of recovery. And I've felt it myself, especially on colder mornings when even my fingers and knees seem reluctant to bend. Morning stiffness isn't weakness, it's the body's way of asking for patience. And when we answer that request with simple stretches, with slower steps, with mindful transitions, we're not giving in to aging, we're honoring it. So before you take that first step tomorrow, pause. Wiggle your toes, rotate your ankles, and stretch your arms while still lying down. Let your circulation wake up. Let your body arrive with you. Just a few extra seconds can make a lasting difference, one that helps protect your mobility, your independence, and your confidence. Aging gracefully doesn't mean pretending we're the same as we were at 40. It means recognizing what our bodies need now and giving it to them with care. And this small change, pausing for just a few minutes each morning to release that stiffness, could be one of the best health decisions you make all day. And once your body begins to feel just a little more flexible, there's one more quiet danger that often follows right after: standing up too fast. It's something we've all done without thinking, especially when we feel alert and eager to start the day. But after 70, the way your circulatory system responds to sudden movements changes, even if the rest of you still feels strong. When you've been lying down for several hours, gravity pulls blood toward your lower body, and if you sit or stand too quickly, your blood pressure can drop before your heart has time to adjust. This sudden dip is called orthostatic hypotension, and while it may sound technical, what it means for you is something you may have already felt: a spinning head, a blurred moment, a need to grab hold of something nearby just to stay upright. These episodes aren't just unpleasant, they're dangerous. They can be the very reason someone ends up falling and injuring themselves before the day even begins. I remember my neighbor George, a retired teacher in his 80s, who once joked that his brain didn't always wake up at the same speed as his feet, but after a scare in his hallway one morning, he stopped making light of it. Now, every time he wakes, he sits on the edge of his bed, takes 3 slow breaths and only stands when he feels steady. He says it changed everything. And he's not alone. This small change in how you rise, starting with deep breathing, then slowly sitting up, letting your feet touch the floor and waiting just a few extra seconds before standing, can give your body the time it needs to catch up. It's not about being overly cautious or fearful. It's about working with your body's natural pace. It's about recognizing that life after 70 doesn't mean giving up movement, but learning how to move in ways that protect you. So tomorrow, morning after you've stretched and loosened your joints, pause. Let your body rise with intention, not impulse, because protecting your balance isn't just about what you do on your feet. It starts with how you get there. This is one of those habits that seems too small to matter until it saves you from a fall. And when you take that moment, you're not just getting out of bed. You're choosing to begin your day with strength, clarity, and care. Now that we've given attention to how we move, it's time to talk about what we give our body the moment we wake up. One of the simplest but most powerful things you can do for your health each morning is also the one most often overlooked: drinking water. After a full night of rest, even if you've slept well, your body wakes up in a state of gentle dehydration. You haven't had a sip of fluid for 7 or 8 hours, yet your heart has kept beating, your lungs have kept working, and your brain has been quietly processing in the background. This slow loss of moisture through your breath, through your skin adds up. And for older adults, that mild dehydration can feel like fatigue, stiffness in the joints, cloudy thinking, or even a sudden spike in blood pressure. You may not feel thirsty, but that doesn't mean your body isn't asking for hydration. In fact, many seniors confuse this feeling with just waking up slow or getting older, when really it's a message from your system that it needs a refill. I've seen it time and again in older friends and relatives who say they feel sluggish in the morning, only to find their energy and clarity improve dramatically after making one change: keeping a glass of water beside the bed and drinking it before doing anything else. Not coffee, not pills, just water first. The benefits are gentle but real: improved circulation, better digestion, lighter joints, and a clearer head. Think of it as oiling the engine before you start it. It prepares your body to move smoothly into the day. And if plain water isn't appealing right away, try warm water with a little lemon. It's soothing, easy on the stomach, and gives your system a soft, healthy nudge. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, because by then, your body is already in a deficit. Instead, make hydration a habit, something you give yourself each morning as a quiet act of care. It's easy to overlook because it's so simple, but that's often how the best habits begin. And when done consistently, this small shift becomes part of your personal rhythm for healthy aging, one glass at a time. So tomorrow morning, before you turn on the light or reach for your phone, reach for water. It may just be the easiest way to feel more alive, more awake, and more in tune with your well-being. Let's take a moment now to turn to something that often feels routine, but carries more risk than many realize: taking morning medication without any food or water. It's something most of us do out of habit. The alarm goes off, we sit up, reach for the pill box, and swallow our prescriptions before even getting out of bed. For years it might have seemed harmless, even responsible. But after 70, the way our digestive system responds changes, and that simple habit can quietly create a chain of problems that feel completely unrelated: nausea, lightheadedness, digestive discomfort, or even sharp drops in blood sugar or blood pressure. Without food in the stomach, many medications are absorbed too quickly or irritate the lining of your gut, especially those for blood pressure, diabetes, or inflammation. Add to that the common mistake of not drinking a full glass of water with pills, and the risk of choking, delayed digestion, or sudden weakness increases even more. I've seen this in my own family: an uncle who took his morning meds with nothing but a sip of water and often felt dizzy in the shower shortly after. It wasn't until his doctor suggested pairing his pills with a small snack, half a banana, or a slice of toast, that things began to change. He didn't need more medication. He needed a better rhythm. When we give our body the right conditions, it responds with stability and strength. And eating before medication doesn't mean a big breakfast. It means a thoughtful pause, a simple moment of care, something light that lines the stomach, slows absorption, and reduces the chances of feeling unwell. Even a few crackers or a spoonful of yogurt can make all the difference. And water matters too. Not a sip, but a full glass that helps the medicine. Move smoothly, protecting both your throat and your stomach. These aren't difficult changes, but they are meaningful. They're part of the larger picture of senior wellness, where consistency, attention, and care protect your day before it even begins. If you've ever felt off shortly after taking your pills, it may not be the medication itself. It may be how and when you're taking it. So as you shape your morning routine, consider how something as ordinary as medication can become an act of wellness, not just treatment. Because healthy aging isn't just about what you take, it's about how you take it and how gently you treat your body as you do. As we continue, let's look at another familiar habit that many of us enjoy and even rely on: morning coffee. It's warm, comforting, and for many older adults, it's the ritual that begins the day. But what most people don't realize is that drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially after 70, can quietly do more harm than good. When we wake up, our cortisol levels, the body's natural stress hormone, are already at their peak, helping us feel alert and ready. Adding caffeine to that state without any food in the system can cause those levels to surge even higher, which may lead to feelings of anxiety, shakiness, or even a sudden drop in energy later. Beyond that, coffee is acidic by nature, and when it hits an empty stomach, it can irritate the lining, triggering heartburn, acid reflux, or that unpleasant queasiness some people mistake for age-related indigestion. I once spoke with a retired nurse in her mid-70s who told me she couldn't understand why her mornings felt so unsteady. She had energy, but it spiked and crashed. Her digestion felt sensitive, and her mood seemed unpredictable. But when she tried eating just a small snack, like a slice of apple or a piece of toast, before having her morning coffee, everything started to settle. Her energy was steadier, her stomach felt calmer, and most importantly, she began to enjoy her coffee again instead of feeling like it was working against her. This is a simple truth that often gets missed. Food acts as a buffer. It slows the absorption of caffeine and helps your system respond more gently, especially when your digestion is naturally more sensitive with age. You don't have to give up coffee. You just have to change the order. A small bite of something easy on the stomach, half a banana, a few crackers, or a spoonful of oatmeal, can be all it takes to protect your gut and your energy. And if you've ever felt jittery or lightheaded after your first cup, this small adjustment could be your answer. Healthy aging isn't about eliminating comfort, it's about making comfort work better for you. When you pair enjoyment with awareness, your morning becomes not only more pleasant, but also more protective. So before you pour that first cup, give your body something gentle to hold it. You'll feel the difference, not just in your stomach, but in your whole morning. As we near the final part of our morning reflection, let's shift from the physical to something equally important: how we enter the day mentally and emotionally. After 70, mornings carry a quiet power. They can feel peaceful or they can feel heavy, depending on how we meet them. Many older adults wake to silence, but not always the kind that soothes. For some, that silence is filled with racing thoughts, unspoken worries, or the lingering weight of grief, responsibility, or change. It's easy to slip into a routine of turning on the television, checking the news, or reaching for a to-do list just to fill the space. But when we start our day like that, reacting instead of arriving, we often carry tension into every corner of our morning. What your mind absorbs in the first few minutes after waking can set the emotional rhythm for the rest of the day. And in this stage of life, when emotional clarity and calm are just as important as physical strength, taking a few intentional minutes to ground yourself is not a luxury, it's a form of protection. I've met many elders who discovered this truth only after years of rushing through their mornings. One man, now 81, told me that after his wife passed, mornings became the hardest part of his day. He would wake with a knot in his chest and noise in his mind. But when he began a simple ritual, sitting quietly, breathing slowly, and writing down one thing he felt grateful for, he found the silence became less frightening and more peaceful. That small pause gave him strength. For you, it might be sitting by the window with a cup of tea, or listening to the birds, or saying a prayer, or simply closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths before you speak to anyone or engage with the world. It doesn't need to be long or complicated. What matters is that it belongs to you. This mindful beginning helps you reclaim a sense of control. It gives your emotions a moment to settle, your thoughts a place to land, and your spirit a quiet space to rise. In a world that often feels noisy and fast, especially online or on the news, that stillness becomes an anchor. So tomorrow morning, before you turn on a screen or respond to anything outside you, turn inward first. Even just 3 minutes of intentional stillness can transform your morning from reactive to restorative. And over time, this gentle ritual becomes a quiet source of strength, one that keeps you grounded, focused, and connected to your inner peace. As we close this gentle walk through your morning routine, I hope you've come to see how small actions, when done with awareness, can lead to big changes in your health, balance, and peace of mind. Life after 70 doesn't mean giving up the rhythms we love, but it does mean adjusting them with care, whether it's pausing before you move, drinking water before your coffee, or giving your emotions space to settle before the day begins. Each of these steps builds a stronger foundation for healthy aging. These 6 morning mistakes aren't signs of failure. They're invitations, quiet reminders from your body asking for a little more patience, a little more attention. And now that you recognize them, you're already on the path toward greater clarity, stability, and confidence each day. The beauty of elder wisdom is that it comes not from knowing everything, but from being willing to learn and adjust, even in the simplest ways. If any part of this message spoke to you, if you've experienced these moments or have found your own ways to heal and improve your mornings, I'd be honored if you'd share your story in the comments below. You never know who might be reading and need your insight. Thank you for being here, and may your mornings grow gentler, stronger, and more peaceful with each new day.